Okay, so in part two of solving equations, we're going to look at solving compound inequalities. Now, these compound inequalities have this form. So you have a variable expression in the middle, and that expression is less than 8, and at the same time, it has to be greater than 6. So notice when I said this, x plus 3 is less than 8, and, I use the word and, at the same time, it has to be greater than 6. So you may recall from a previous course the and or statement, so those were compound statements as well. So that and statement in the previous course is this idea here. All right, but this is not written as the word and, so it's not written as two separate statements. It's just written as one compound statement. All right, so you have this compound inequality. And so remember, the idea here is to get the variable x in the middle. So if this were just a simple inequality like this, just a linear inequality, you would subtract 3 from both sides. Well, it's a compound inequality, so there are 3 parts here, the left part, the middle part, and the right part. So you have to subtract 3 from all parts. So what you do to one part, you have to do to all of them. And so we get 3 is less than x is less than 5. And so there are your solutions. So any number between 3 and 5, not including 3 and not including 5, is a solution. So for example, 4.5, so 4.5. 4.5 plus 3 is 7.5, and 7.5 is less than 8, and at the same time, it's bigger than 6, or 6 is less than, what did I say, 4.5, so 7.5. So these are your solutions. So in terms of the interval notation, you would say, since there's no equal sign, you'd say parentheses 3 comma 5 with parentheses, and the graph would look like this. So you have 3, 5, parentheses on both, and you're shading in everything in the middle. All right, number 2, you have negative 3 is less than 2x minus 4 is less than, let's say, 6. All right, so again, the same idea. You have this compound inequality. You want to get the variable x in the middle to solve this inequality. So you want to find out what real numbers will make the middle expression, this algebraic expression, less than 6, and at the same time bigger than or equal to negative 3. So again, if this were just a simple inequality, I'm covering this part up. If this was just this, you would add 4 to both sides. But again, it's a compound inequality, so add it to all parts. And then combine like terms, negative 3 plus 4 is 1. It's less than, these cancel out, become 0, so you get 2x. It's less than 10. And then you got to get the variable x by itself. So I'll go ahead and rewrite this. So divide all parts by 2. So your solutions then would be any number between 1/2, including 1/2, and 5. So those are your solutions. So any number between 1/2 and 5. And you can check 1/2. If you go back to the original, 2 times 1/2 is 1. 1 minus 4 is a negative 3. And is negative 3 less than 6? The answer is yes. And at the same time, is negative 3 bigger than or equal to negative 3? Yes, it's equal to it. All right, so any number in here would be a solution. So your interval notation would be bracket 1/2 to 5 with parentheses, and then the graph. And so this is 1, and let's say 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/2, just estimate where 1/2 is. So here's 0. So 1/2 would be in the middle of 0 and 1 with a bracket, and then 5 parentheses, and you shade in everything between them. All right, and then number 3, so we'll just do one more. It's very simple. It's not difficult. So let's suppose we had negative 11 is less than 2x minus 1 is less than or equal to negative 5. So again, just like the previous one, you're going to get the variable in the middle, so you have to add 1 to all parts. Make sure it's all parts, the middle, the right, and the left. Combine like terms, we get negative 10 is less than 2x, this is 0, is less than or equal to negative 4. Alright, so I got to get x in the middle. And so if you divide both, all parts by 2, your solutions will be between -5 and -2, and including -2 because there's an equal sign. And so again, your interval notation will be between -5 and 2 with a bracket, -2 rather, and the graph, if this is -5 and this is -2, parentheses, bracket, and shade and everything between. Alright, and let's do one with a fraction. So let's suppose we had this one. This would be number 4. So let's suppose you had -3 is less than or equal to 2/3 x minus 5 is less than -1. So, so notice that in all these others we did, there were no fractions involved. In the original problem, you didn't see any fractions. Here you have fractions. Probably the best thing to do here, now you could multiply all parts by the LCD, which is 3, but probably what you may want to do is add 5 to all parts, since that's probably the easiest thing to do right now. And so notice what happens when I add 5 to all parts. That's -3 plus 5 is 2. Is less than or equal to 2/3 x is less than 4. And now, notice I'm going to go ahead and clear the fractions. So I'm going to multiply all parts by 3. So the LCD is 3. So you're going to say, let me go ahead and rewrite this. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the original problem. And so you're going to multiply the left side by 3, the right side by 3. I'm sorry, the middle part by 3, and then the right side by 3. And so then you get 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Is less than or equal to, and then these divide out. So you're left with 2x is less than, and this is 12. And then finally, to get x by itself in the middle, you're going to divide both sides by 2. And so your solutions will be between 3, including 3 because of the equal sign, and 6. So there's your solution. So any number within 3 and 6, between 3 and 6, including 3, but not including 6, is going to be a solution to the original problem. And so unit rotation, bracket 3 to 6 with parentheses, and then the graph would be, so in 3 you'll have a bracket, on 6 parentheses, and shading everything between them. Alright, so that was an easy lesson. So just solving compound inequalities, get the variable in the middle. In this case, these were simple problems. You did have a fraction. Notice how we dealt with the fraction, and that's it.